Over the past couple of days, I have had several conversations and have witnessed several other people that I follow sharing the same sentiment. And this message is directed towards the patriots, to those who are Christians and love America. I think that it's natural. The rage that we feel is justified, and within my own team and the men that are in my sphere of influence, every one of us has the desire to just get it on, man. Let's just get this over with and figure out who's gonna run this country. But that's a trap. That's a trap, and I also believe that that's the wrong way to go about this, because all it'll do is cause this thing to recycle, fester, and come back as a bigger sickness. This is a message to all of those who have reached the point after watching Charlie be assassinated, have reached the point to where you know something has to be done and you want to do something. Again, the natural the natural reaction to want to take up arms and to go give these people what they've been begging for, that's understandable. But in the spirit of Charlie Kirk and the man that he followed and modeled his life after, Jesus Christ, I think that it would be wrong for us to do that. This is an opportunity for us to show who we are, but it's an opportunity to really stamp out this parasitic infection that has taken over our nation. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that we need to hold hands and sing kumbaya with the left and any of these liberals. I think this has gone beyond political. But the time for peace and the time for trying to talk things out is over. The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes that there is a time for everything. There's a time for love, there's a time for hate, there's a time for peace, and there's a time for war. There's a time for everything. The time for love is over. The time for peace is over. There no longer can Christians turn the other cheek and try to be compassionate and loving to a population that is run by demons that wish you to expire, they wish your demise. There's no more conversation, there's no more talk to be done. What needs to be done is an eradication, a cutting off of the head of the snake. It's very easy to look at these little weirdos and queers that have really emboldened themselves because they've been protected. And it's easy to look at them as a target, but that's just a symptom of the disease that we have in this nation. What needs to happen is there needs to be a drastic and brutal reckoning of accountability. Now, before I go into my solution and my suggestion, I want to ask you a simple question. Now, I'm going to ask you, what did Charles Manson and Adolf Hitler do that gave them the reputation that they have today? Both of those men incite just the ultimate epitome of evil and cruelty. But what did they do? What did Hitler actually do? What actual blood was on his hands? The same thing with Charles Manson. Who did he execute? What did he do? Now, most people they're all in agreement that both of these men were evil. Very few people, especially those who like to throw the name Hitler around and call people Nazis, they're very comfortable with the fact that this man has been attributed all of this evil, all of the deeds that his generals and those under him did. A lot of his generals were executed after the trials of Nuremberg, not for what they did, but because of the orders that they gave and the orders that they followed. Very few of those men actually did anything, but they were held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. They were hanged, they were executed. Hitler would have received the same fate had he not taken his own life, if that's really what happened. But most people agree that those men were guilty of propagating all of the evil that was done because of the words that they said, the orders that they gave. That's the jurisprudence that we have in this nation. That's what we feel is justifiable when people take part in things like that. I think in this moment, it is imperative that the Christians that want this country to be something better than the Sodom and Gomorrah that we've turned into, you target the head of the snake. Now, what is that? I think that it's the judges that have let these people go over and over again so they can continue to commit crimes. It's the professors and teachers in our public school system that have indoctrinated these children into the belief systems that they have. It's the politicians and all the talking head news anchors on TV that have told lie after lie after lie and have pushed this propaganda that everybody that's on the right is hateful, that everybody that's white is racist, that everything that's over there is the problem for everything that's gone wrong over here. Every one of those people, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, all of those people on The View, the politicians that continuously, even after Charlie Kirk's death, to spew this lie about hatred and that this dude was some sort of way a racist of some. These people are all complicit in every crime and all of the sickness that we see, all of this tranny violence, all of the racial things, the stuff that happened on that train with the Ukrainian girl, all of that stuff. Those people should be punished, but the people who created those people should be punished, just like Hitler was, just like Charles Manson was. But who is funding these people? Who are the people behind the scenes? These people with the funny hats that have dictated so much of our policy and very well could have had something to do with what we witnessed a few days ago. None of this stuff is off the table. None of this stuff is implausible because it's happened before. And if we go out to the streets, if we do what our gut, what our souls tell us is necessary right now, we will fall into their trap. Because right now they're already laying out the blueprint to make the necessity of this spyware that they want everybody to be okay with. If we could have just had this predictive AI, we would have known what's going to happen. It's just a matter of time before that narrative comes out. Problem, reaction, solution. It's the same play all over again. And if we take up arms, if we go after these lunatics and losers the way that our gut and our soul and our anger and our rage wants us to, then we will march ourselves into what we don't want. The best thing for us to do is to go after the head of the snake. We deal with the symptoms of this disease by stamping it out. No more tolerance and no more dealing with it. If you walk into a store and there's somebody that's dressed up in a weirdo outfit, ask to speak to someone normal. And whatever rage comes from that loser, deal with it. Deal with it. Those people have gotten away with too much for too long, and you don't have to tolerate it. You do not have to tolerate it. Ask for somebody normal and let them self-destruct. Refuse to take part in anything that goes against your principles. If you're watching a movie on Netflix and two dudes start kissing, hey man, get on and put a complaint. Let them know that at a minimum, at least put on there, you got gore, you got drug use, you got all of these things. Put gay shit on here so I can not watch this movie. Stand on what you believe and stop accepting things. That's how you fight the righteous fight. And then, if they continue to push the envelope, if they continue to call for a battle that they're not prepared to undertake, then and only then you give them exactly what they're looking for. But the key in all of this is to lean on your faith. Walk as Jesus did. Walk as Jesus did and pray for discernment and show what godly men look like. First peaceful and then all out chaos if needed. It's time to armor up, men. let's go after the head of the snake. Out.
Ultimately, we're all dead men. Sadly, we cannot choose how, but we can decide how we meet that end, in order that we are remembered as men.